The night was silent, with only the distant sound of occasional cars passing by on the street. Lara lived alone in an isolated house, surrounded by trees and minimal public lighting. She had moved there just over a month ago, seeking peace after a messy divorce. That night, everything seemed calm until an unexpected sound broke the silence. The doorbell rang. It was midnight. Lara, who had been sitting on the couch reading a book, froze for a moment. Who could it be at this hour? After a few seconds, she slowly got up and went to the door. Through the peephole, she saw a delivery guy. He looked out of breath, holding a paper bag and nervously glancing around. "Ma'am, I'm sorry to bother you so late, but I had an issue with this delivery." "Is this your order?" he asked, showing a label with Lara's name and the correct address. "You want to know where this story is going, don't you? Then before we continue, if you want to help our channel keep bringing amazing stories, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed it, turn on notifications to find out when new videos are posted." Even though the situation seemed odd, she opened the door. The delivery guy was young, likely in his late teens, and had a restless look in his eyes. He was sweaty, and his clothes were slightly dirty, as if he had been through a rough night. "I'm sorry again. My boss insists all deliveries must be completed no matter the hour. Please, just sign here so I can leave." As Lara signed the receipt, she noticed something strange. His hand was trembling slightly, and he kept looking into the darkness behind her as if expecting someone to appear at any moment. "Are you okay?" she asked, handing the receipt back. He hesitated, and his eyes filled with a mixture of fear and desperation. "Honestly, no. I'm in trouble." He took a deep breath as if gathering courage. "Can I stay here for a few minutes? Just until I'm sure they're gone." Lara felt a chill run down her spine. Who were they? The idea of letting a stranger into her house at midnight was terrifying. But on the other hand, he seemed genuinely desperate. Against her better judgment, she stepped aside and let him in. "Thank you. I promise I won't bother you. I just need a few minutes." He sat down on the couch, clutching the delivery bag as if it were a shield. Lara sat across from him, a mix of curiosity and caution. "Do you want to tell me what's going on?" she asked. The delivery guy hesitated before beginning to speak. "My name is Raphael. I've only been working as a delivery driver for a short time, but tonight was different. During my last delivery, I realized I was being followed. Two men in a black car. They stayed parked outside the last house and then started following me through every street. Do you know who they are? Or why they're following you?" Lara asked, now more intrigued than frightened. "I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're after something I wasn't supposed to see." He opened the delivery bag and showed Lara what was inside. It wasn't food, but a package wrapped in black plastic. "This package shouldn't be here. My boss told me to deliver it, but when I saw the men following me, I realized something was wrong. It's like I'm the bait." Lara stared at the package. "Did you open it?" she asked. "Oh, I'm too scared to find out what's inside." Raphael began trembling visibly, as if the gravity of the situation had just hit him. Headlights from a car swept across the living room window. The two of them looked at each other in silence, frozen. "They found me," Raphael murmured almost inaudibly. Lara stood up, trying to stay calm. She glanced out the window and saw a car parking in her driveway. "Stay here. Don't move," she said. She grabbed her phone and dialed the police, but the call wouldn't go through. There was no signal. The house's isolated location, which once seemed like a refuge, now felt like a nightmare. The men got out of the car. Lara could make out two silhouettes. One of them was holding what looked like a metal rod. Her heart raced. "Raphael, they're coming." Raphael started to panic. "Please, ma'am, don't open the door. I'll leave, just don't let them in. If you go out now, they'll catch you," Lara replied. Her survival instincts clashed with her urge to help the young man. Before she could come up with a plan, loud knocks echoed on the door. "We know he's in there. Open the door, and no one gets hurt," said a deep, threatening voice. Lara tried to buy time. "Who are you? What do you want with him?" "He has something that belongs to us. We don't want trouble. Just hand over the package." Lara looked at Raphael, who was frozen. "Are you going to tell me what's in that package now?" He shook his head, tears streaming down his face. "I don't know. All I know is my boss told me to deliver it and didn't explain anything." The knocks grew louder. "This is your last chance." The tension in the room was palpable. Lara knew she couldn't trust the men outside, but she also wasn't sure she could trust Raphael. "Go upstairs and hide in the bedroom. Lock the door," she ordered Raphael. He hesitated but obeyed. Once he disappeared down the hallway, Lara cracked the door open slightly. "If you want the package, you'll have to tell me what's inside," she said, trying to sound braver than she felt. The men laughed. "Trust us, ma'am. It's better if you don't know." Lara quickly shut the door and heard hurried footsteps around the house. They were trying to get in through the windows. She ran to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and locked every door she could. Time seemed to drag on, and the sound of the men trying to force their way in heightened her anxiety. Suddenly, everything went silent. Lara stood still, listening only to her own breathing. When she finally dared to peek out the window, she saw that the car was gone. The men had left, at least for now. She went upstairs and found Raphael huddled in a corner. "They're gone, but this isn't over. You need to explain everything to the police," she said. The next morning, Lara and Raphael handed the package over to the authorities. Inside, they found something that justified the pursuit: a large sum of money and documents that seemed to incriminate someone powerful. Though the night was over, Lara knew she had paid a high price. Her peace was gone, and the sense of security she had sought in that isolated place was destroyed. Raphael, on the other hand, promised to turn his life around and never accept deliveries without knowing what they contained. Want to know more about this story and many others we still have to share? Then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every day, a new story comes straight from our mysterious archive, filled with tales and accounts we've gathered from various sources. Cases with stories that will give you chills. Also, don't forget to share this video with that friend of yours who loves a good mystery.